Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Samantha Leighanne and I talk about books. Welcome to another edition of Coffee Talk, which is pretty much just bookish discussions. So if you're unfamiliar, because it's something that I just kind of started recently doing. So today we are going to be talking about going in blind. So what do I mean by that? I personally am the kind of person that doesn't really read the back plot synopsis very often. If you have watched many of my videos, you've probably noticed that I don't really talk about plot synopses all that often either, just because I'm not very good at explaining them, and also I like to give people the option, if they want to know more about it, that they can go and read those plot synopses by themselves. Personally, I like the element of just not knowing. I like going into a book and being pleasantly surprised, and one of the reasons for that is because I tend to guess like what's gonna happen. Reading psychological thrillers is kind of tough for me sometimes because I can usually see things are happening at a pretty lengthy distance away. So that's another one of the reasons that I don't like reading plot synopsis. Another reason that I don't like reading plot synopsis is because there have been times where I have been completely spoiled for, major plot points. There have been times where I've been completely spoiled for major plot points by actually reading the back blurb on a book, which I think is just the most idiotic thing that I have ever heard of in my entire life. That you would put like major plot points on the back of the book. Like, that's just so stupid. But that actually happened to me not that long ago. I was on Goodreads and I was just scrolling through. I was in the middle of a buddy read with Jess and Christina from Game of Thrones. We were reading Mistborn. So somebody on my friends list had posted an update because they were reading the third book in that trilogy. Well, before I realized what I was doing, I read the first sentence of the plot synopsis, and there's a huge spoiler in the very first sentence of the plot synopsis of the third book, and I didn't even realize like what I was doing. But I finished reading it and I'm like, no, like I know this thing that happens. Now granted, was it something that like I probably saw coming? Was it like super important? No, probably not, but it's still like, damn, this is why I don't read it. And it was like I wasn't actively looking for it, just kind of happened. But it just pisses me off that you're gonna put major fucking plot points like that in a synopsis, regardless of whether or not it's book 3, because sometimes you just can't avoid seeing those things, especially with like the interwebs and things like that. But so I just said that I don't really read a lot of synopses. So how do I decide what I'm gonna read next? In my opinion, more often than not, you can glean what a book is about. Number 1, if you know anything about the author and the type of genre that they write. Number 2, you can sometimes tell through the title. Number 3, you can tell by the book cover. So I'm a mood reader and I just kind of pick up what I feel like picking up. So I find myself going off of cover art a lot, which I know the whole don't judge a book by its cover, but I don't know, there's just something about cover art that I'm drawn to that helps me decide the books that I'm gonna read. Another thing that I go by is the recommendations and ratings from the booktube community, also book Twitter. I have added many a book to my TBR because of exclamations of how much somebody loves a certain book on like book Twitter or booktube, while they're giving an extremely vague description of what that book is going to be about. So I like going into books as blind as I can be. Every once in a while, if I'm trying to find something very specific, I'll actually go through and I'll do the research and I'll read the synopsis and things like that. But for the most part, I'm just like, oh, this looks like it could be interesting. Let me grab this. I know that there are a lot of people that do that kind of thing, and I know that there's a lot of people that set very strict TBRs for themselves. They're very particular about what they read. So I just kind of want to hear from you guys, like, just because this is interesting to me, how people pick books. How much do you need to know about a book before you read it? This is where I open the floor to you guys in the comments. The last discussion video that I did about DNFing books, there were so many comments on it, and I was so happy to have those conversations and really open that discussion. So thank you to everybody who watched the last video and commented on it, and I hope to have even more participation this time. But tell me, how do you feel about going into a book blind? Do you like doing that? Do you like doing research? Are you very particular with what you read? That kind of thing. Yeah, comment down below and let me know. I would love to hear from you. So that is all I have for you guys today from the coffee talk front. As always, if you like what you see and you want to see more, make sure you click subscribe and give a thumbs up if you haven't already. If there are any topics that you would like to see discussed, make sure that you comment down below and, you know, let me know. I have a couple more lined up, but it's just a few more, so I'm open to any suggestion that you guys would like to see. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye.